I'm Angie.
I'm Michelle.
And we are Blue Heavens. We are sisters who channel ancient divine beings from a council named Lazarus. This council contains the state of Krishna consciousness and the state of Christ consciousness. And the beings within this council teach us, they shine lights on our illusions and shadows and teach us how to be better people, leading to better lives and finding joy and happiness and all of that good stuff. So today it's episode 30 question mark 36, 37, I don't remember. It's on something 37. I stayed over there. So it's episode 37, and this is our Bhagavad Gita Wrap Up. Wrapping it up. We're gonna wrap it up. So yay. So we're going to talk about the book again, but we'll talk about some of the principles in it and pick a couple things, be devoted with them, see what kind of results you get. Right.
And this is Michelle. So I thought before we began, I wanted to bring in our ascended masters, the Lazarus crew. Okay. So I'm going to look down because human, they're the light and the wonderful, and I'm the human and the that's me. So, but this is out of respect to them. They know my brain. They know it. They know it better than I know it. It's sad. Okay. Ascended masters, beings of light, guiding us through day and night, with hearts aglow, we gather near. In your divine presence we hold dear. Masters of wisdom, love, and grace, we feel your presence in every space. Through channels link a sacred bond. In your teachings and guidance we respond. Oh, ascended ones, radiant and wise, with love-filled hearts and open eyes, we channel your energies pure and bright, guiding others from darkness to light. In gratitude's embrace we stand so true for the wisdom you share, the love you imbue. With every channeling your essence, we feel a connection so deep, so profoundly real. With reverence and honor, we open the door, inviting your presence forevermore. In unity, we serve. With devotion, we sway, channeling your messages day by day. Ascended masters, our hearts you've won. In your divine love, we are truly one. With every breath, with each channeling done, we're grateful for your blessings you've spun. In your embrace, our souls take flight, guided by your radiant light. With love and gratitude, forever we'll sing to our divine masters, to you we bring.
That was fantastic. I loved it. Sure. And it rhymes. So it was even a little bit more perfect.
Yeah, well, they bring so much. From Lazarus, so we just, and everybody can join in, and
yay!
So we brought them in so they can.
Perfect. So, let's talk about some of these practices. Is that a good start for us?
This is Locaus. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so one of the ones that we could learn from the Bhagavad Gita is self-discipline, that we can have daily routines, we can stick to them, that'll help us out. Mm-hmm. It could be meditation, it could be yoga, it could be mindfulness, it could be paying attention when you're walking, it could be doing dishes, anything to kind of get some self-control and build up your inner strength. So does Spirit want to talk about self-discipline? It said it's also called tapas. Tapas.
Yes. Well, and this is Loki. So self-discipline is a practice you will devote to, or you're present in the moment. Grounding is the best self-discipline, only because you're grounding your energy. So self-discipline, I would like to start when you talk about the Bhagavad Gita, if you're going by shadow work and you're going, by light, because both are very important. But so self-discipline, you would start with meditation. Meditation, to me, out of everything you said, is the most, because you need to let ego know it isn't in control. Humans have issues with ego, and they, and then it's the words are, well, I don't know what to do. And if you say, I can tell you what to do, and then you say, I don't even want to listen to you, because your ego says what's happening is you're reacting, you're not listening. Meditate, you observe. It's in the Bhagavad Gita. It's in the Bhagavad Gita, for goodness sake. It says, when you meditate, you observe yourself. So he says, Arjuna, just observe. So he said, take yourself out of the equation and watch a situation. How do you feel? Well, I feel better, because you're observing the situation from a meditative stance. The most important self-discipline you can do, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, would help you more than you know. Do that. I don't care if you want to do now, but doing dishes, you can meditate. Believe it or not, you're meditating, you're doing dishes. That's how Angie meditates. Their mom, when she cleans, that's how she's meditating.
Yeah.
When Scott is working on all the little your little animal babies, that's what he's doing. He's meditating.
Yeah.
When Ellie is making her YouTube, or she's helping, she's meditating. So you see what I'm saying? You are disciplining yourself and doing something of your whole heart being present in it. That's meditating. You don't have to always do this. You can. There's called walking meditation. She does a lot of that. Michelle does walking meditation. She gets a lot of her visions that way.
Yeah.
So there's many ways to meditate. And 10 minutes a day, you do that. Ground your energy. That's another one. Please do that. And you'll have to go outside. If you cannot go outside, stand, take your socks off. You can, I know, can at least do that. And if you can't, honestly, you can't do that. You can't put your feet on the ground, understandable. Just picture yourself. Just put your legs down if you can. If you can't, lay down and visualize your legs down. There's ways you can go around that, okay? And you just ground your energy, and you will literally feel your energy and you just release, recycle into Mother Gaia, Mother Nature, whatever you want to say, to be reused and recycled again for the benefit of all. And that way, somebody else puts their ground. Oh, I feel great, because you just recharge it for somebody else. Your neighbors might need that extra, yay, and they got that.
Yep.
So that would be self-discipline.
Yeah.
And like, and devote, like when I would also say, when we say pray, I wouldn't say pray, devote to a higher whatever. Krishna's over here, so she would go to Krishna. You can use Jesus. It's your higher self. It doesn't matter. And you just devote that time. And don't always, oh, I need you because I'm suffering. It's an all. I'm so happy today. I'm having a great day today. And you hand it off. Like when she found out a lot of things yesterday, that's really just blew her mind. She gave it to Krishna. This is and she did, and she said, and that thing's turned out great. She goes, I hear to you, Krishna, thank you. But first she eats her breakfast. Thank you, Krishna, for providing this for me. She has an altar for Krishna. And she talks to him like, you know, hey, it's not always, help me, I'm having a great day. Thank you for the joy. I'm thankful for my mom and my dad. And she goes to what she's thankful for. When you're thankful, that's also self-discipline. You're acknowledging the light in your heart. So these are the self-disciplines things spirit really feels humans really need to get, because your ego, and I will say that's an illusion. If you tell me, I'll try to keep it still here, your ego don't rule your mind. And if you say your ego talks for you, you're not observing your mind. You're reacting to your ego because you want to stay in victim mode. And that's your fault. And that's your choice to stay in victim mode. If you want to see the world in eyes of anger, that's your choice. But it is a paradise. So if you want to live in a paradise, you will live in paradise. But you observe and you meditate. It all starts with meditating, slowing your mind. It's in the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
It's in the Bhagavad Gita. These are the self-disciplines spirit will inform. It's important to us.
I'm reminded of the Wayne Dyer quote, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Mm-hmm. So this is that mind switch right there, that it's going to be the same situation, but you can change your perspective of the story you're telling yourself, because it's just a story. It's an illusion. It's not real. You can change the way you look at that thing and make it a positive spin. And now automatically, as soon as you change your belief, you will feel differently about that thing, because of the beliefs are what's creating everything. So change your belief, change your world.
Yes.
We have to stay in suffering. Change your belief, change what you're looking at, find something good in it. When Ellie had cancer, right, I knew I had 2.5 years. If I was lucky, we had 2.5 years for her to have this treatment. I could have spent the whole 2.5 years being worried out of my mind. And I was deep down, you know, I had that worry, but I also had faith, because I had been cultivating meditation. I've been observing my thoughts. I was working on my ego. I wasn't allowing myself to be so reactive. I used to be just very angry and I would just let it out. I didn't know I had control over it. And if I was in a scenario where I wanted to be angry and I couldn't be, I'd go walk away. I'd go walk away and just sit and be like, I don't want to let this out of me. And the more and more you do those things, the less and less they appear, because they're no longer going to resonate with your vibration. Because we're all energy. It's all energy, and what like attracts like, and dislike does not attract like, right? Things that are resistant to one another aren't attracting one another. So if you were in a state of happiness, you're not going to get anger. It doesn't resonate with you. It's not coming to you. It's going to somebody else that does resonate on that level.
Well, and I was a couple of things, as you did mention some, but it's still Loki.
Yeah.
We notice we don't always, so still Loki. So Angie, when you changed your perception of things, when Ellie was sick, you put it in perspective. Well, that helped Ellie put things in perspective. And look where Ellie is now, because it changed your perspective. Scott's family changed your perspective because you saw things differently.
Yep.
You saw hope, which gave Ellie hope. It gave everybody around you hope.
Yeah.
It gave families that had the same things hope.
Yeah.
One person had a light and gave that hope to everybody because you changed your story of how it can be. You changed your story. Now, when you're in an angry state, when you are talking to, I'm going to use that as an example, and let's say you're just angry in general, and you're angry. So you see somebody and they're just trying to help you, talk to you, and they don't really know what's going on with you, and you go, or you're whatever. What you're doing is everybody has an energy field around them, and you're always projecting to somebody else your energy. And let's just say you're angry, and what you're doing is you just put that on their energy field. And whoever you're just yelling at, because you want to see it, and sometimes it's to reflect it back. This is my anger. I need to see what it looks like in this form. I need to see it because I want you to hurt like me. I want you to hurt like me. And so the other person might react. It could react because it's in their aura. So there's something they need to look at. Oh my God. It's energy and energy. So meditate. So here's what's happening. You meditate. Now, let's say you're angry. You're an angry person. And let's say you're an angry person, you're hurt, and you just want to throw victimhood everywhere. And you want to spat it out like exorcism goo. You want to go, I want to make somebody else, because you need to, honestly, you need to see it. That's your ego. I want to see it because I want everybody around me. I don't want to hear anything. Even if it's coming from the goodness of their heart, I think I'm just going to spew my shit all over. Now, somebody with a high vibration will look at you, and because they're observing you, looking like an ass. Well, bless you. I'm really sorry. That's how you feel. And then all of a sudden, they don't know how to react to that love that you just gave them. They have no clue because you didn't react. You observed. You've changed your story already, how they are. Yeah. You look at them, they're hurt, they're sad, they need help. And if I react to them, I'm not doing anything with my energy, but I'm just throwing it back and feeding what they feel that's what they need. Maybe they've always been yelled at and they feel that's what you got to do that to them as well. That's energy. And you didn't react to that. You stopped it. You didn't have to yell at them. You just said, you know what, I forgive you. I'm sorry. I want to listen to you. And then they don't know what to do because you didn't react.
Right.
But you gave them something to think about because you observed it first. Your thoughts seen it. So that's where meditate. When you do that, it helps really balance yourself because you're already going to see from paradisal state. And see, Angie, after that happened, Ellie sees in that state because you taught her to see in that state. Now you see in that state and you don't react. But if you do react, it's because there's something in your energy field that must be looked at to be fixed. And when it does, it releases it. And then it's let go. Yeah. And whoever here can put more love into their energy field and maybe, okay, well, this person was calm. And they'll go, what did you do so I can do this now? Because that's an example. So now you're a light. Now, instead of this anger, now you want to do what they did because that's what you want. If they say meditate, you go, how do I do this?
Right.
How? And you will. So energy is so important. You are energy. You are a ball of energy as a human. And what you do reflects how somebody else. When you simply are a light and love, you give it to everybody. And Angie, you said it in the hospital. Simply by being a light, so much other love came to be light for a lot of other families to be light.
Yes.
And that's how it starts.
All the families there were depressed, right? Likely so.
Yes.
There's babies with cancer. I mean, just the amount of suffering was crazy. But you see the love of the nurses, you see the love of the staff. They have this thing called child life in the hospital, where they have games and toys and music, and they do anything to entertain these kids. So there was an outside form of love. And when I'd go there, I would try to dress as a princess or bring a princess dress to Ellie or something, so we could go in and bring, and I leave my sadness in the elevator. So I'd park my car, I'd walk to the elevator, and I'd say, my sadness and my frustration stays here. It doesn't come inside the building with me. And then I'd smile, walk into the elevator. And right now I'm getting goosebumps, because it takes me right back to, I was raising my vibration there. I was an anchor. I didn't know I was setting an anchor for myself. And that's what I was doing. I was setting an anchor for myself. And I was going through a divorce at the time. So my ex-husband is, sometimes we'd be swapping out, right? He'd be leaving and I'd be coming in, and there was a lot of tension and anger there. But if I left everything at the elevator, it didn't bother me. He wasn't as reactive towards me. If I brought that stuff in, boy, oh boy, it wasn't good. So you can be in control of these things, and you're meant to be. We're not meant to be like twirling around all willy-nilly, not knowing what to do. We're supposed to have some sort of understanding of what we're supposed to do. And by having self-discipline and doing daily routines, we help get ourselves out of these bad patterns, because it's really all it is. We have energetic patterns that we are used to. Like you said, with someone that's really angry and they're yelling at someone, maybe they are just always expect to be yelled at. That's that pattern. Once you understand that pattern and where it came from, you don't have to live in it anymore. You can be like, okay, pattern, I see you. And that's all it takes to transmute that energy. Right. You don't even have to change the pattern. You can just look at it and understand where it came from and acknowledge it doesn't need to be part of your energy field. Swipe it along.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a wonderful example, Mr. Loki, because sometimes you need to understand just being a light is important. And Angie, you were a light. Because now you see, now Ellie's making a wonderful video, and it's going to help so many families, and being a light. So she's still spreading that light.
Yes.
And bless her heart, she's still going to be that light, still spreading that hope. And you gave so many hope to these families that didn't have it before. And it doesn't matter, like your ego here would be, and you didn't have that, by the way. I'm just saying, somebody else could say, well, my light, and I'm so important. You never did that. It is, I'm just going to walk in and I'm letting it all go.
Yes.
And you gave it all to God. You gave the joy to God, and you gave the sadness to God. God heard it all, whether it be Jesus, Krishna, whomever it was, you gave it. And you said, I'm leaving it all at the door. And Divine heard you and said, we respond in turn.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what Lazarus does. I mean, anybody you follow devoted, Krishna's been there all along. And it's all you have to do. And Shiva and all of, as soon as you just say, I'm gonna leave it at the door, Divine hears you and acknowledges it. And so I just want to expand on that, Angie, because I think it's very important. And because there's a lot of people who see hard times happening, just being, and that is one of the hardest things, it's your child. So I feel that's what I really want to throw. You feel that being a light, leaving it all at the door and the elevators, Angie did, as sometimes the best, because then you're that light. Yeah. And if you need to cry it out later, you do it in the silence, because you are also heard in the silence. You're heard. You're never by yourself. Spirit's always there. Always but sometimes, there. Right, exactly. But there you see where Ellie is, because you were simply decided, I trust divinity versus anything else, and it's all let go. But because you did that, so many other families had hope after that.
Yeah.
So So but that's part of self-discipline.
Yes, it is. It's all part of self-discipline. You're denying your ego self to remember your spiritual self, your true nature. You're just undoing what this world told you were, but you have to acknowledge that you were never those things. So that's part of your self-discipline. So this is a thing you can do to take these principles to heart to change your life. This isn't change your day. This isn't change your mood. These are, you do this every day, you will change your life. I changed my life. The second Ellie flatlined and I heard, what took you so long? When I said, oh God, no, this was me throwing up a flag and like surrendering this thought I had that I was alone in this universe and that I wasn't supported by a higher power. I released it. And I was met with a voice in my head that wasn't my own, right? And it changed me right there. And then Ellie coughed and came back, and that was it. So if you look at me and you think, well, I suffer and I don't see you suffering, I've fucking suffered. We've all fucking suffered. So don't act like you need to push your suffering on someone else for them to understand it. They've already had the understanding of the suffering, and they've learned self-discipline to work past it. And that is why we are mentors and teachers to help you. This is why we are coaches. So don't come to us to push your problems on us and think we have not suffered. We have suffered very greatly. That's what it takes to do this kind of work. You have had to have suffered greatly. Why is that? Because now you connect to the people that are suffering greatly, that need the help and the hope. And that is your job. That is our job. We are here to bring hope and help. And it doesn't come from a background of ease. It comes from a background of suffering. So have some respect when you're talking to mentors or coaches, or really anybody that offers themselves to you in selfless service. And if it's done in a free environment, come on now, man. Let's offer some self-respect and love to people that are showing up to help you, because that's the least you could do. That's just the least you could do. All right. So let's move on to detachment. So detachment is super important too. Because we have to do a thing. We're supposed to do the action, but we're not supposed to care about the outcome of it. We're just supposed to do it. So what are some reasons, or let's talk about detachment. Why do we want to practice detachment?
Okay, well, because what happens when you attach to you attach to an outcome, you're controlling, you're not trusting universe. So you bring in human ego again, is ego, controlled ego. So when you attach to an outcome, example, you're like, I'm just using as an example, okay? So if you say this resembles my life, I'm gonna watch a show and got this. Who knows? It could be my life, and I'm not. I'm not because I'm a god. I am not. I don't. I'm not human. As I get told, like, you're not human. You don't understand me. I've just been around humans. My priestess is a human, and my son is human. I got it.
You know some humans. You've been around.
And I got Cosmo.
Yeah.
I know. So I could use some out of his life, but. So, hey, can we use you, Cosmo? Come over here, Cosmo. He's going to use an example.
Perfect.
Yo, I get to be an example, man. I get to be an example. Don't attach it and do shit. I'm not saying that, Poppy. She'll name some shit. Oh my God. Okay, he wants you to name a situation. I was an ass and I attached. And he says, I must. This is a lesson, you son of a bitch. Not you, him.
A lesson of you were what?
For like the attachment story. So what he said, so what attached the thing that I attached to? Can I know one right now that I did. I'll just put myself on the line.
Yeah.
I met a beautiful girl and I thought, I'm going to make her so happy. I did all the things I thought she would like. I pictured in my head, picture it. You do this, you get that. I do that, and it never turned out like that. Jail time. Yeah. Call, ding, ding, and like, I'm getting arrested for what? Oh, shit. Because I put the outcome that I was going to win her heart and be like, oh my God, I'm Mr. Wonderful. I had to have the validation I was Mr. Wonderful. I was actually didn't understand her background, that what I was doing was reflecting assholiness and stalker-like tendencies to her. I was so my ego going, what the hell's wrong with her? Because what the hell's wrong with her, man? Right. It's all her. There's nothing I'm doing. Until we both got like wasted drunk, man. And she said, this is what you done wrong, guys. Mom, this is what you done wrong. And I'm like, you're doing wrong on the bar. What am I doing wrong here? Yeah. And she told me. And I go, yo, sober you up, man. She was not. I was. After I puked, I was a little sober. But no, man, it really hit me like, whoa. So basically, she took it as stalker, Cosmo. And I was taking it as, what the hell's wrong with you? Yeah. You, Susie Q, what's wrong with you? So that was me putting an outcome. Like I was expecting an outcome for a situation. So that's what all of them yo men mean when we say you're putting an expectation on something. So when you attach an outcome, that's kind of what you're doing, and you're controlling it. I was trying to control it. because I was a control freak. I tried to control everything, including the love of my life, I thought.
Yeah.
Not the love of my life. Anyway, Scott didn't watch this episode. And now, don't watch this episode. It never said that. Backwards.
He wouldn't
Anyway,
care.
but anyway, so the outcome, was that. Okay, so that was me controlling. When I noticed, I go, this is what I do, man. This is me not attaching. I'd go, look, it is how it is. And guess what? It went the way I'd want it to go. I'm like, yo, this is so messed up. When I would be sitting, like getting no business at the bar, man, I'm just sitting there like, that's why I'm meditating, I guess. I was like, drool, drool on camera, drool, like, wipe down the bar, man, wipe it down. No, I'm gonna drool, and or look for some tail.
Looking for a tail.
And I get the best ideas. So I'm not controlling anything. I said, "Cry, get fired," because I just kind of half sleeping, drinking alcohol for free. Yeah. But or given whatever. That's personal. But that's basically what it is. When I just let go of the outcome, shit happened. When I try to control it, hey, here I am. Here I am having tits. Talks like that shit. Because here I'm going, I don't want to be here anymore. If you say it, don't say that shit. I said it one day. I said, I don't want to be here. I hate my life. It really wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't. This, imagine watching your pops lick Marcus. Imagine that. That's no. Dude. Don't choosy that. Don't choosy that shit.
And you wouldn't have seen that had you stayed here. Had you stayed here, you would have been spared this.
Would I've been licking you and Scott would have kicked my ass.
It sounded like it would have been bad. It sounded like it would have been bad.
No, but I would have found somebody to lick. It'd been good. But so watching Pops lick, oh God. It's all weird thing. Yeah. So don't do this, yo. Yeah. Nah! To wake up and you go. It's really a horror story for me. But so I hope I gave a great example to the view of my little life here things. So I will come back if you call me. I'm like the little genie. Do.
Yeah. Well, our next one is selfless service, and it reminds me of you. And in your little neighborhood, you would clean up the neighborhood, you pick up trash, and you would spray off the vomit the people that would barf in front of the bar. So this was kind of a part of your meditation and a part of your selfless service. Plus, being a bartender, you're always that ear, you're always a friend to people, and this was selfless service. And this was just you being you. You weren't being anything special. This was just you, like the part of us that people pleases. This was a balanced part of that. This is selfless service. People pleasing isn't balanced. Selfless service is balanced. It's you showing up to help the people that the universe is bringing to you to help. It's not you helping whoever you think you need to help because they need the help and they don't appreciate it. It's a different.
We know how the barf thing happened though, yo. I'll tell you how that happened. As soon as you said it, I'm like, I gotta fess this shit up. Let me fess it now.
Was it you?
And it did turn out to what you said. But I've been around gurus and now I got to confess some shit.
Yeah.
It always bites ass, man. When you're around gurus, they make you feel so shitty. That shit, because now you get this guilty conscience and you go, shit. So, okay. So it all started, the barf thing happened because I got so drunk, yo. I didn't know if I did that barf or somebody else did it. So I would just go look like polite, like I'm going to clean the barf. I don't know if I did it, but I'm going to clean it because it's really gross, man. That's really gross. But well, one day I did it. I swear I did this, right? And then somebody comes around, right? It really did do the barf. And they're like, yeah, that's cool, man. I did that. And he goes, no, man, I did that. And I'm like, dude, that's really selfless. I go, that's why I do it, man, because I'm selfless, yo. After that, though, I did really for real did it like that. Right. But it all started with somebody saying you didn't do that, yo. It's like, good.
And that's perfect because you weren't expecting recognition or rewards. That again is selfless service. You're not expecting anything. You're just doing it. And what a beautiful way to start doing something good is to cover your own ass. And then it just spills into someone else's.
And the cigarette butts was because I was a douche and I just threw my shit out. And you saw me do that all the fucking time now. Yeah. All that anytime. And I threw it out of my car or whatever, somebody else's car. I throw it back in your car and have like little cigarette marks in your car. Hey, and I saw the damage. I just want to pick it up because I felt like, and usually if you remember, I picked up trash after I fought with somebody.
Yes.
Because I felt like shit and I had to go and do something. I was always like this. I was always, I had to do something. But I would think, as you remember, my mama always had me do shit. Calm down, Cosmo. Clean that room. But I'd meditate. So I started off then as a good thing because I did love mama. Yeah. Or if brother or sister had something held over my head and I had to clean something for them. It still gave me time to think. I didn't put that shit together until I was over here, and a guru said, "Did you ever wonder, Cosmo, why?" No, I just thought it was bullshit. I was coming for being blackmailed. No, you're asking for meditation time, dumbass. They didn't say that. Yeah, but I just interpreted it in my story word, dumbass, because I'm a guru. No, I'm not. I'm far.
You're crazy.
But I am. But that's kind of all. But I wanted to give selfless, and I would actually hear other people because nobody heard my ass.
Right.
I knew nobody wanted to hear me and my bullshit. So I would sit with whomever. Yeah. And most of the time it was great. People would go, I know you, sit down. I don't know who the hell they are, but I'll sit with you. Right. I'll sit with you. I don't care. I got my ass kicked because I did Beautiful Woman. And for once, I actually wasn't thinking that shit. I wasn't. I was actually married at that moment. I wasn't thinking that. Boyfriend, on the other hand, thought, man, woman, nice, you're a shit. But I get it now. But, you go, why didn't you beat him up? Jail time. Couldn't go back. Because we got a wife. And she'd go, you're already on that list. But selfless service, it's basically what I did it. I thought nothing of it because I just wanted to be the ear somebody else doesn't get to hear. I wanted to help others. Like, hey, yo, somebody came like so many people would come at the bar. I felt like Cheers. Yeah. Everybody knows your name, and I would try to honestly remember your name. If I didn't, I'd be, hey, I don't know your name. That went for chicks. Hey, Chickie, I don't remember your name. Like your dad says he does. And I let him talk. Let's talk. Because Sam, the bartender, always made everybody feel so damn great. Yes. So did Woody. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the bartender thing. You ever wonder, where did you get that, Cosmo? I wanted to be, that was kind of my way of thinking I was like that. I was.
Well, you had the hots for the girl that was in that show. I can't think of her name. And that's why you like that show. So I like all your other excuses, but the main reason is he liked the beautiful lady with the dark hair and the blue eyes. Kirstie Alley. Yeah, that's what it was. She was, she's beautiful. Yeah, so that's why you wanted to work at a bar. Just clear up some facts here. Please the gurus. All right.
Yeah, dude. I deserve that.
Let's talk about another one, cultivating equanimity. So that's pleasure and pain, success and failure, to respond to things with an even-minded attitude so we don't have super highs and super lows. So this is the thing you can choose. Let's talk about equanimity.
And this is Marcus because he goes,
he's out. He don't know equanimity. He was peaked.
he was at guru status. He goes, I can't take it anymore. I'm enlightened. I can't do it anymore. Marcus, get in here. Now, Loki's looking Loki, so now you have to kind of take care of these. He isn't joking on any of this stuff. But so basically when you're going, again, it deals with meditation. So you have your self-discipline. Yeah. And you observe and you're watching in your meditative mind, as the human, you're watching your meditative mind, you're watching it. and you're observing yourself, and you see the situation, you can see the energy, and you observe, and so like you're having a great high, you're having a great, because for every great high, you're going to have because the energy has to kind of balance. That's why they say so you're observing, so you're not reacting. So something, like something great happens. Well, you don't meditate, so you react to that great moment. It's like you just, whatever humans do, whatever you do as a human, whatever you do.
Yeah.
And then whatever, like sadness, you get angry, you cry, or you blame somebody else because it's their fault, and that's what it means. But if you stay even-minded, it starts with meditating, observing your mind. Watch your mind, observe your mind. How do you react in a happy time? How do you react in a bad time? Look at your patterns. It's all energy. And what it means to be calm, that's what you're doing. So let's say something happy happens. You don't have to have resting bitch face. You can still be happy. If you're just not sitting there taking all that energy out there, doing that. Okay. You're kind of, I can still put my energy out there, but I can be calm about it. I don't have to. And if I'm sad, same thing. You can look sad. It's all about releasing your emotions too. Evenness of mind is just like pain and the pleasure. Like, you have some pain into some situation and pleasure, you can reverse the story. It's all about that. And overeating, let's use that because this seems to be our problem over here. Michelle, not us. We don't eat. I don't enjoy, but coffee. But I like the coffee. I need Scotty recommendations coffee-wise. He has the best coffee. And we found it at Walmart, by the way. Speaking of, we found the coffee. I was so excited because I like coffee now. So let's say the pleasure in the eating. Eating, great, man. It's just great because that's the pleasure. So you overeat. The pain is, I don't have that food to eat now. Oh my God. But you can reverse it. It can be, I get the pleasure out of eating these green vegetables and fruit. But the pain would be, I got to eat McDonald's. That sucks. For me, that would be a pain because I can't. And so that's just reversing it. And you actually get used to it once. So you do that. And Michelle had this, so use this as an example. She gets her test results for her blood work. They're saying, you got cholesterol. You need to have more fruits and veggies and lose some weight in your diet. And then they said, you're pre-diabetic, which means you got to change everything in your diet. So basically that they're giving her that, they said, you got to change your diet. Because the universe is saying, you eat like shit, stop it. Because if she had evenness of mind, it wouldn't be when she's eating chicken egg food, young. Or Locaeus, sorry. Locaeus eating that. Yeah. And the pain is, I don't have the money. Who's going to fiend for it? He feeds for it. Anyway, so that's what it is. So you exchange. But now that she's got to eat the better things, it's pleasure, and I get to be healthy and live a long time. I don't want to be pre-diabetic, so she's like, I had to eat better, which actually made her kids happier. I don't want to feel like shit. I want to have more energy. I don't want to be sluggish. It raises your vibration. But see, that's all evenness of mind by observing, and that she didn't react. It's like she sat there, heard Locaeus go, oh shit, I'm dead. That was not the reaction. Right. And she immediately, she thanked with the accent, which confused the nurse to no degree, because when Locaeus comes through, accent time. Because, oh, okay, I don't let you just, because he comes through and he says, thank you for the information. I can change my diet. And it was him. And Michelle goes, okay, as I think you confused people, but it's okay. They tried that. Michelle was drinking. I don't know. Yeah. But that's part of that. But again, it starts with meditating self-discipline, however you choose. If you want to do it like Cosmo, wash dishes. There's so many different ways that you can do that. And maybe if you have any more questions on that, and any questions that we are saying, you have any questions, please respond now. Or when you're all watching this, we will respond. Mostly Angie will respond because we don't see it. She does not go on Facebook enough for us to respond. And she's very wise, and she'll make it make sense to you. Okay. We will not. She got to see the preview of that. Locaeus trying to give Laura advice.
Yeah.
So
sometimes it needs humanized.
It always needs humanized.
All right. Another one is acting in Dharma. To live in alignment with our Dharma, which is our duty and purpose, and to be righteous and ethical in our behavior. So let's talk about acting in Dharma.
This is Cosmo again.
What? You watched Dharma and Greg, maybe.
Anyway, It's always for the girl. It's always for the girl, man.
Yeah.
I can't say more because then I just go bleh, open my shit up. Let's just say a friend of mine acted like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Scotty, don't watch this episode. Now let's go. I mean, I'm gonna get spirit ass kicked anyway. I'm a guru though, so that can't happen. Now we're talking your dharma. So
yeah,
I always wanted to be, because in my life I did not have like a daddy model, so I had to become what I thought it meant to be a man.
Right.
I didn't know. Everybody said you're a big guy, so they would get described as ABC. What's that got to do with dharma, you may ask? Oh, well, I will tell you.
Yay!
I actually found this shit out when I went to the gurus. They told me. I'm like, oh my God. And I just did a locatus.
Yeah.
I've been talking to my brother lately.
Yeah.
I'm about to stop. That shit ain't happening. He's dude now. He says, dude. I said, don't you ever fucking say dude in my presence again. He just looked confused. He said, dude. I said, don't. That's my thing. No. I sound like him again.
Yo, dude.
As a locatus, stay away from me for a while. That was not like you. Anyway, so I didn't know my dharma. I just went to this life. I thought, I'm done. Anyway, and I didn't know my dharma because really I thought I wanted to save people. I want to save because I want nobody to feel like I did. Didn't have what I thought I didn't have. And it was so funny. So these gurus look at me and, stupid human dead man, you stupid. And here I am going, I don't know what we're laughing about. And they said, you did exactly what your dharma was to be. You were there for others as you wished you had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such a mind fuck, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I basically told them the shit and they repeated it back to me. And I go, and then so one, I go, oh, I know, I got it. You did not get it. You lie.
I lie.
I lie. If you met my pops, have met your pops. He knows lies.
Yeah.
I know. They said, but he's higher than you and respect him more. I did get that. I was told respect him more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, but my dharma was to be a light, to listen. And I did exactly my dharma. I did my dharma. I didn't realize my dharma was to be listen and be there for others. I didn't get that.
Wow.
And that was my dharma. So basically it was whatever, like any job I did besides watching a woman and got inspired to do it, if it's led me there, that's wonderful. Because if you think about it in a weird way, I looked up to my mom. I did look up, and my sister, I looked up to both of them. My brother, not so much. Not so much. I still don't really do that now. But but I looked up to the women in my life. Yeah. So I wanted to be, so I didn't realize I was doing my dharma. I didn't see it because sometimes you just don't see it till somebody has to point out to your dumbass to see it. And you go, man, I was a dumbass. And they go, you're a smart ass, not a dumbass.
Right.
Choosy and doozy. That was your shit to do, your choices, man. But they said like my stories, I would reflect, like somebody got mad at me, man. Like I would tell them this stuff. Like I think, well, that person would pick on me. I said it was like awful bullshit. They would and they said no, because they couldn't talk to you. You were always in react mode. And I did it again. I put my hands up. I was always in reactive mode. And so they reacted. So my energy said, you must look at, you're going to yell at me, for I will listen to you. Any advice?
Weird.
Whoa, it was crazy shit. It was all energy. And I just was so messed up about it. And I looked at Pops and I go, well, I got to tell him he's right this whole time. God, no. And I got to look at Lucas and say, he's been right this whole time. And I got to admit to shit.
It stings. It stings.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I thought you got stung.
No,
I'm
no.
like, what the hell stung you? I'm gonna kill it.
It was my possum. It was my crocheted possum.
But see, it was my dharma. So this is their dharma, man. It is. to talk to people, get you to learn. October 9th happened. So, we could come forth and go, sushi, choosy, and doozy. And everybody goes, we didn't like that doozy or choosy. We were like, not happening that, but choosy doozy it. Yeah. But you know what? You all get helped. Her dharma, she gets the happier thing. So if it goes in one ear, not the other, it really is going in one ear, not the other. It really is. And you got to depend on location. Did he translate that human message? Does not compute. Mostly did not compute. Yeah. So they were made to compute it for you all. No, not really. Good. So that's dharma. But I will shut up. I will back up because this is Angie. Now, see, I knew Angie's or her. Yeah. And this was Angie's way of shut up now. Yeah. Shut up.
I'm hungry. I want a piece of pizza. All right. So, like, the last one I have is compassion and kindness. To practice compassion and kindness towards all beings and to treat others with respect and empathy, recognizing our interconnectedness in life. We're all one. If you're mean to someone, it's like being mean to yourself. It's very silly, and we need to get over it. So compassion and kindness frees us. It helps us. It helps the people that we're kind to. It can help you have better relationships if you can be kind and compassionate, because now you're meeting someone at an equal level to where you can actually learn from one another. And one of this other tips was seek wisdom. Well, this is a good way to seek wisdom, is through the act of compassion and kindness, because you get to seek the wisdom of somebody else, somebody else's story, somebody else's lessons, and all that stuff is so good. That can help us so much when we can actually make connections with other people.
Yeah, and this is still Cosmo, man. I feel this one still could help. And then if somebody butts me out, you know why. But it was like, so here's another example from the little book, little trick. So let's just say I was in opinionated mode, and I know how I am in opinionated. I would want to talk over you, but I knew I must shut my mouth to listen. I would have beverage, choose your beverage. Yeah. And this is what I would do. It's a good trick for all of you. Listen to this. Okay. Don't have to use an alcoholic beverage, but for anything. And also my cigarette, man. That's what the cigarette did. But this was me typically. And Angie, you can remember this. Why I did this was to shut me up so you could talk. And so I couldn't, because I get so involved. I'd be like, but it shut me up. And then by the time, because I knew they had to get into their story, and then once it clicked, then I could put it down. But nobody knew what the hell. Even wifey would go, got drinking problem. Yeah, I do. But in this case, just to listen to you, because otherwise I want to talk over you. But I would know in my head, or the cigarette, the same thing was. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. So that's a trick. That's just listening, being there. You know, and somebody would just take the time to listen to me, like it would mean the world to me. And I could be in this angry state. But if somebody just showed love to me, man, I was like, cool. Until a dude over there said, you're a strong man, let's go kill somebody. Yeah, I'll do it. And it would, because the negative just sounded better at that moment. But if somebody just, because I had constant kindness, and it would have been different. I guess just say I had a blue heavens, man. If I had a blue heavens, I wouldn't be in the blue heavens. I would be here. Yeah. I would be hearing all about Loki's messed up shit going, I'm glad I'm over here. I'm glad I'm over here. Then I'd be hearing another Cosmo going, I feel bad for him. Yeah. But I like to have thought I would have been part of the blue heavens in physical form. Yeah, I hear Michelle going, you would not have been. All right. But anyway, I like to think I could have been. But it's just being kind to others. If somebody takes the time to sit with you, be kind to them and their deities and the spirits coming forth to talk. Yeah. So little thought. That's why people charge, because you don't listen when you are getting free advice or free anything. Here, there's a little story from me to you. I could give drinks for free, or when I charged, it was actually different. people would, it was different. I'd give different respect. If I gave it, they walked away, never see him again. But if they paid for reals, friend, I'm being really for reals right now. I know it's really true. I'm being for reals, but they respected me a little bit more.
Yeah.
They might not liked me, but hey, but they respected me.
It's the saying that if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. It's what Tony Robbins always said, that you have to charge people, because if they don't pay, they don't have anything invested in it, that they don't truly pay attention. And we show up for you to pay attention. We hope you're paying attention, because this isn't easy to do. It's time consuming, it's draining, and we have lives. So if we do this for you willingly, have some compassion and respect and kindness.
Well, because you really don't see what they both do behind the scenes, man. It is not like they just show up. They just went, skipped, or whatever else. They had a good long conversation with, Jason Momoa, like, oh, Jason, oh, I know. I got a live to do. Yeah. Sorry, we'll talk to you later, man. He's in that pit, Michelle says. And that wasn't me saying that. But, Michelle, I'd be curious. I would look. But now, that's not, there's a lot behind the scenes that you're not seeing. You're just seeing what happens when they show up.
Yeah.
Me, for example, nobody saw behind the scenes of me. They all thought they knew me just by the projected me. I was actually just a one ball of hurt man that didn't know how to be a man, and I wouldn't respect people free advice. I really didn't respect you. If you're going to do, and I'm like, I pay. Hey, I'm actually, that's why therapists will charge, because you're going to listen. That's what that Dean Grazianti, if I said his name right, I like him. He's actually a cool guy. I do too. That's what he says too. Yeah. He had his lady man on one of those, the backstage live thing that Michelle does this too. Sometimes they give good advice though. And actually this was good. And she said, I give all this free advice. And he said, well, tell me how many people named it or used it or whatever. Nobody in like 5 years, man. And he goes, what do you think you're worth? And she said, he goes, I bet you're worth more than what you think you're worth. And he said, they pay, they will listen to you, because now they respect you now.
Yes.
Because he went through the same shit.
Yes.
Tony Robbins went through the same shit. See, when you pay, you're going to pay attention to this shit.
Yeah.
So that's why, if somebody takes the time to do what you don't know behind the scenes here. You don't see what these girls have gone through to be here. You don't know, but when they tell you a story, it's an actual thing that has happened. I mean, when I tell my shit, and she knows my shit, Angie, wherever Angie is, she knows my shit, man. She knows my shit. She calls me out on my shit.
Yeah.
But it helps you go, oh, here's my shit. Because you don't, and this goes with you. Nobody knows what's happened, however it makes you behind the scenes. Nobody knows it but you.
Yeah.
But if you're giving advice, what you want somebody to listen to you? Think of that. If you're going to give advice when you want somebody to actually listen to what you're saying, because maybe you're very wise, but if you're going to all over the place, well, all you're going to get from them, right back.
Yeah.
Or you give this advice and it's wisdom. And if you don't agree with something, dude, I don't agree with this, but I will listen. I might take it into consideration. That's much better than just spewing your shit. Yeah. It really is. Dude, I would rather somebody said, Cosmo, you're full of shit. But I respect you took your time to listen to me.
Yeah.
And for real. But that would be, but kindness, just, if people were more kind, the world would be different.
Yes.
And the same as Cleo is showing kindness right now to Angie.
She is. That's exactly what was over here happening. Yep. I wanted to mention one more thing, faith and surrender. That we need to have faith in a higher power and surrender our ego. We need to trust a divine plan. Once you start making these changes, you add some of these practices to your life, it will help you grow your faith in a higher power, which will allow you to surrender your ego more and more. So it's kind of a benefit of doing these things, that you will, like, I feel at peace with the universe. I know if something negative happens to me, I know I've created it. It's not a punishment to me. I know the universe isn't punishing me for anything. I know I'm just experiencing stuff. And again, all of those mental changes allow you to have a happy life. And speaking of paying, we are going to turn this into a 21-day course. So if you feel like you could have gotten more out of this, well, we're going to charge you and we're going to whip you into shape in 21 days and take you through these things and have guided meditations and help you bring these things to life to change your life. That's what we're here to do. So it's something we are working on while we are working on the book. And then another book came through for Cosmo. So we'll start working on our second book when we finish the first book. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. And we truly believe in these books, the Bhagavad Gita, and this knowledge. I mean, it was a book that Spirit led us to, and we both got it. You know what I mean? We didn't get the book, we got the book. Like, it made sense, and it was able to put steps into place for us to change our lives, to have happier lives, to serve our purpose, to no longer be people pleasers to people that don't appreciate it, but to give the energy and time to people that are willing to make changes in their lives and listen to it. So, yep.
And this is Michelle. And on trust and surrender and having faith, coming from a background, I truthfully, before October 9th, I did not trust. I went through it and I didn't realize I still really didn't have trust. And I guess this is me to be vulnerable. I'm almost going to say this because this was one of my Cosmo moments where I go, and I didn't know. But so Aaron Doty had, me and Angie, and thanks to Angie and Spirit saying 21, raise your vibration to Aaron Doty. Thank you, Aaron Doty, and for helping my children right now. Your calming voice, believe it or not. Oh my God. So he had a thing, it's called somatic breathing. Okay. So I started it, and I'm not thinking much. I don't know what to expect. I trust him. I trust his process. I see where Angie, again, I see where Angie's at, and I go, okay, well, this would be a great thing because it's something that, my kids could use because I got the course forever and ever. So that could help them too. So I thought, well, what does it really do? And so when I'm starting, so when you're breathing, basically you're breathing and you're bringing up these, while he's guiding you, while it's in a meditative state, you're breathing, he's working on your breathing, and you bring up these emotions and when he's talking to you, where are you at? Where's his emotion? And it's all about releasing whatever emotion comes up and letting it go with no guilt, no shame, just let it go. Get it out of your system because it's not needed to be in your system. It could be a subconscious thing, okay? I have no idea. So he says, get a one-word intention you'd like to get. So ask your highest self now. So I hear Lokeas say, trust. I go, I need self-love, Lokeas. He goes, trust. I go, trust in us. Lokeas said trust. I find out that the course of it went through my past lives. So I didn't trust Spirit. I was trying to take control of everything. It showed me during this whole upset, during my marriage, Grandma would say, you can't trust God, Mom and Dad. You can't, and by the way, when I say that, they do, but when it was then, it was like, it was something bad. And so to say it was always, well, you can't trust God. You can't trust God. They do, but sometimes you just say things. And I get that as a parent. I get that. So I would hear it a lot. In the past, I'm saying being burnt for the same things me and Angie are doing now. I would see all these things. I'd see the Renaissance Festival, because a lot of these was the Spanish Inquisition, seeing a lot of these lights coming in. And I didn't realize, but I formed an opinion in all these things, the parallel things happening now. I'm blaming God for all of this stuff. I didn't have the faith. Yeah. I was basically blaming God for my death. If it's not for you, why am this happening? I didn't know I was doing it. And my marriage to Kenny, I blamed God. I was blaming for these things. And I go, oh my God, I'm doing that. And in the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna says, oh my God, when he really sees Krishna as Lord Krishna, and then he goes, well, I am beyond sorry for all of my disbelief in you, because it was the same thing. He didn't trust. Yeah. And all of a sudden I had come to the realization I don't trust. So Spirit's forgiving. They say, that's why we showed it to you, so you can learn. Yeah. So Krishna put me through some very hard to trust. I get news. I'm supposed to trust. I set an altar and I make it a point to talk. I do what any service like we're doing here is for Krishna. I do this because I love him. I want to serve him. He said October 9th was my way of serving him. And he goes, but it was me trusting. And I knew now I do. I didn't before. And you say, well, that's kind of odd. You deities and you see it. Ego wouldn't allow it. Ego's gone. There's no ego here. Ego talks. I say, I'm the creator. I'm the creator of all of this, not you, not my ego. So I put that aside, but Ellie's in the background.
I know, like I just saw a mushroom head appear.
I did too. That's what stopped me.
All right, that's not what we're here to do. Thank you. No.
But that came out in this whole 21, but it was trust in that. But that's very important, but it was shadow work. So when we do teach the course as well, be through spirit, and we'll be, guided by the different, deities, Cosmo.
Yeah.
And we'll put our own, in it. But Bhagavad Gita is for shadow, shows your duality. Arjuna starts in the dark night of the soul. He starts doubtful of spirit. He doubts who Krishna could be. He doubts all of this stuff in front. It's just, this is somebody else's fault, not mine. Till the end when Arjuna says, oh my God, and he's so loving. Krishna was loving, did not judge, didn't sit there and go, oh, Arjuna, you idiot. Like,
right.
Not one part did he do that. He did a Loki, then a Marcus, and he, as that's what Krishna is. All of them are his aspects.
Yeah.
And they are to vibrate with everybody. So when we get a different one, that's what is happening. They said to me and Angie, if one comes out, is the energy they feel is going to be best to resonate with the person as the teacher. So, but you got to trust. And I trust more and more in the divine. I'm humble to them because spirit, they know what they're talking about. And that my intelligence background, some of the things that come out of my mouth isn't me, it's them, because I already know. But also in the book, Angie, they want me to say that too, besides being Cosmo, the second title, it's also, besides Cosmo, it's the what the hell happened October 9th too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people understand there's more people out.
Yeah.
To understand they're in those, because they said this isn't the only
right
over here. So that is Cosmo, and that's the secondary. So we know we get the first, the second, and to see that come to life exactly, it was.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
It was very cool to see it come out like it did. So that would be the trust, and that when we teach that, it's going to be the different principles, meditation, and it's just going to be different because it really helps. In another book that me and Angie, let me make sure I'm going to grab the right one here because I got two sitting here, is this one here. It's a modern translation. Angie and me both have this. It takes the Bhagavad Gita and puts it in story form, and it brings it modern day.
Yeah.
To really bring the concepts to life, if you need more of that, like that understanding, and that to really help you grasp what you're getting too. So there's another way, but that book has everything. It talks about meditating. Everything Arundhati says in a 21-day, Krishna is telling Arjuna the very same information. Thank you, Arundhati.
Yes.
I mean, for real. Thank you. I mean,
yeah.
And Krishna. He's wonderful. He's in his esoteric. Please keep your esoteric. We love that.
Yes, sure.
For sure. Yes.
Sure. So I pulled a card real quick, and I get sometimes we're tested not to show our weaknesses, but to discover our strengths.
Yes.
And life is about testing. So as you're making changes and stuff, you will be met with tests. A lot of the times you'll know it's a test. You'll know something's weird about it. Do your best, show up the best you can, show up with kindness and compassion, pass your test, and then build that strength of faith in the universe and a higher power, and allow detachment to the ego, allow this balance to come. So many of us, our ego's up here and our spirit is just still silenced, and we need to there's room for both. And this book is balancing it out for you.
Absolutely. And this is Krishna. You would think I would have been at the very beginning. I appreciate, Cosmo's interpretations of things.
Yep.
And but you wonder, did you act like that when you were here? I saw Radhe do something I might want to go follow.
Yeah.
But the book is really a principle for life. How to balance is your life. When you balance duality, you pretty much, it's wonderful. And if you have a question, it's okay. You're either Arjuna or you're Krishna. And sometimes it's good to read it as Krishna, and you get to my point of view on things. And if it seems difficult, then it's just something you just stomp on your ego and you just meditate. And when you see it from that point, because everybody is me. You all are me. It says all a thing. And there's no reason for anger. And if you are angry, it's just something in your energy that needs to be released. I feel I would just address, because I heard from her boys this, and I would like to to men, but this is for men and women. But I noticed more men have a hard time expressing themselves. And I hear Cosmo, and I hear her boys. Boys don't cry. They were taught not to cry. You're not allowed to do certain behaviors if you get mad, frustrated, or whatever. It could be like your dad or whatever. And men have such a hard time. And I'm not saying women don't have the same, because a woman, they got their own roles here. Okay, I'm not saying. I just noticed through men just feel they can't cry. They can't do certain things. And if you don't release your emotions, you will have like illnesses and those things that could pop in your body because you just don't release this thing. And as a woman too, it just goes for either. But for whatever reason, I don't know if a man's going to be watching this, or a wonderful wife or a girlfriend would hear this for her significant other or something. Okay, I just feel the need to say it. I hear spirit is loud, and so we will address. But you need to release emotions, even as a man. You need to release, however, and you'll be guided that direction. And I had a lot happen in my beginnings. Nobody has that right. All humans say whatever they say. I know what happened. I didn't just become one day this little blue whatever with such joy and happy, wonderful parents. That's not what happened. I wasn't blue. But if you feel like I had to be, then that's all right. I don't care. But my background was just, how it was. And being a man, I had to keep it all to myself until I learned from the great divine to just release. And once I released, I felt better. I could teach others. It's okay to cry. I would cry. I would be frustrated. I didn't always stay in a holy state like everybody would always describe me. Well, Krishna was always as happy, magic, but I was towards the later because I knew it was illusion. And when we say illusion, I want to correct. Some people say illusion, but that still means I have things in front of me that's still going on, so that's not illusion. Well, I like to just, it's there, it's an illusion. If you have something happening around you, you are creating that to be around. I created things and I had to see it. And if I'm not going to see it, it would get louder in my face to see it, to see it, to see it. And I wouldn't understand that. I decided it was coming on the outside and not realizing it was on the inside. When I realized from the divine, I get advice. Like when I'm real stubborn, I'd get advice. And somebody would say, and I would take it as attack. I would take it as, because I just remember male role models. And that's how I viewed it. That was a story. And I would quit listening until divinity came forth and said, just listen with an open heart. Change your story, change your belief. And when I did, I listened. And that was my illusion. It's just how you see things. Things are around you as a test. It's always a test. It's how you take the test. That's all how it is. When I realized all these things were tests, things got better. Did I have bad days? Yes, I had bad days. I wasn't just perfect. I had bad days. Of course I did. but I saw him differently. I saw it in a paradise state. I let it go. I never let drop my vibration. I never yelled because I didn't see the need. I never judged. But did things happen around me? Yes, because it was on my outside world how I was viewing it. But the minute I put it in, it all stopped. And it is that easy because I'd start seeing it. Yeah. So I'm just, because I hear what the kids have said, and I've heard just different things. And it is good because even Laura even said, well, there's illusions in front of me. That makes no sense what you're saying. And Angie heard that at the beginning when poor Loke was trying to describe it.
Yeah.
But that is what we say. But it is, you got to paradise. It's just trusting and then the inner light and knowing you're all this beautiful light. You're just really going back to his unconditional loving state. And that as you read the Bhagavad Gita, everybody start, I was Arjuna. Think about that. I was Arjuna. And I Krishna as well. So it's like me talking about two parts of myself. I just start off as Arjuna. And then there's me as well. It's like me talking to myself, you know, like I knew Arjuna. I was very acquainted with Arjuna. That was me. I'm very aware of who I was towards the end. But I had to become that. Nobody saw behind the scenes of what made me. You hear different gurus that say who I am. That isn't who I am. But it's a beautiful love story for everybody that wants to hear these things. But that's not the truth and who I was. But it is belief, it is a story. And if you believe it, bless you, that is fine. It's a matter. But I just like sometimes you need to see your teacher as he wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
But I am where I'm at now. Yes, I am in perfection right now. Perfection. And everybody has perfection. So I apologize but I wanted to go ahead and sum all of this up and everything too. I wanted to do my little summary and I did enjoy Cosmo's. I want more stories. He doesn't tell me a lot of stories. I heard from the other gurus, the other ones that were telling me some things, and they all said I need to talk to you. So,
all right, I got stories.
This is Cosmo. Damn him!
Aye. Yeah. Well, let's wrap this up. I've got to urinate and I want to eat a pizza.
All right. This is Marcus. So, sorry.
All right.
As Aradoti says, meow. Right.
Yeah. Do right meow.
Yeah. So we'd like to thank all of the wonderful ascended masters, including myself, that came forth today to come in here and channel through our beautiful priestess, wife, and give this message to everybody. It is our honor to always come forth with love and wisdom to give to humans of the beautiful Bhagavad Gita by our great teacher Krishna, who we love and appreciate so much because we are aspects of him. And we love that because we each carry some parts of him which we question. This is how he was. Wow. But we appreciate that so much because it just makes it just so more formidable. But we appreciate everybody being here. We appreciate Ellie showing up. We appreciate Cleo for showing up. And we appreciate Cosmo for everything, for showing up. We're so happy you're here to follow and that you join us and the work that you're putting towards. And we just have nothing but love and service and humble devotion to all our followers. We love everybody so much. And we're here to teach you go up the blue mountain, the blue heavens with us. We want you there with us. It's a beautiful place to be. When you stand here and you look at all around, you want to be part of it again to help and bring everybody back up. And that is your service. You're to be the light. Where is your light? Maybe sometimes your light is to be social and be out in the public, or sometimes your light is simply in your neighborhood to put that light to everybody around you. And you ground, believe it or not, you give that light and beautiful to other people. And you give love to that ground. Everybody feels that. When you do like meditate, it helps so many people around you. Just by your light and light and kindness. And somebody around could be having a terrible day. You decide today I'm going to start meditating. As a group collective, I'm going to meditate, either in a group, by yourself, it doesn't matter. And you do this. Somebody that needs to feel that is going to feel that. The day that Angie, sitting in that hospital, got that news, she watched her daughter and she heard, what took you so long? Somebody else was meditating, sending this love. Boom. And it hit her. It made her a light. And therefore she paid it forward for everybody else to be that light.
Yep.
It takes that one person. It's all it takes. And imagine if we can get the whole to do these 10 minutes, all by observing. It's all it takes, just a second. And imagine what the world coming to the beautiful second coming of Christ, because really that's it. It's our energies as a whole. That's what you are. There's Krishna, all divided up. The light in your eyes is the light in our eyes. You're no different than us. We're just in a different realm. We're just the same light. We just have a higher vibration. We see things from a perfection point of view. We want to teach all of you to remind you, this is an illusion. You ask for the veil, you ask for it, and it's given to you. But then we come to remind you, we've been through this, except for Loki and everybody but Loki. But through this, we understand. But listen, if you listen to this advice, and there's so much knowledge around you, you are going to be that light, and you're going to give that. And you've heard Angie's story. That's what you're doing for somebody. Think of it that way. That made you start your meditating practice.
Yeah.
Think of Angie next time, and you see Ellie, and you go, wow, when I meditate, I'm doing that for somebody. Or somebody's doing that for me when you're getting some bad news. And all of a sudden, you just feel that lift. Well, that somebody's meditating somewhere on your behalf. Yeah. And you don't even know who you are helping. And that is not attachment. That is your service and being humble. And your ego has no parts of that. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely. That's just, I want that more for our followers. And that's the message from Spirit to everybody. So I'm going to just end it here. And I want to hand it to my priestess wife. Sorry, they're going to leave. So.
All right. Well, we love y'all. We thank y'all for joining us. We hope that this resonates with you and that you pick a couple of things on this list and you start adding it to your daily practice. Let us know how it goes. Type us in the comments, send us a message, let us know what you like, what you don't like, and well, maybe if we can help you through something. We love y'all, and we will see you in our next live on Thursday for our Ask Lazarus. See y'all then.